The making of Slipknot's 1999 self-titled debut album was no walk in the park. Unless you set recording studios on fire, eat your own vomit, and pee on your buddies in the course of your average walk in the park. But when it came time to record its follow-up, the band was in a dark place even by their own demented standards. Corey Taylor, Sean Clown Crane, Joey Jordison, Paul Gray and company were shocked by their sudden stardom and ill-equipped to handle it. From groupies to drugs, the band members spiraled into unhinged debauchery and crash-landed in deep depression. They channeled it all into the album, 2001's Iowa, which is universally regarded as the band's heaviest and most brutal offering. Songs like Disaster Piece and the Heretic Anthem flirt with full-on death metal in their extremity, both sonic and thematic, as the group embraced misanthropy and misery with open arms. Here are 9 examples of the mayhem and madness that surrounded the Nine during the making of and touring in support of the record. Number 1. Producer Ross Robinson broke his back during the Iowa sessions and produced much of the album from a wheelchair. Robinson, who had pulled epically harrowing performances out of Slipknot during the recording of their debut, went through his own trials and trauma around the making of its follow-up. The so-called godfather of nu metal broke his back in a motocross accident, a turn of events that he leveraged when trying to motivate the band members, many of whom were showing late to the studio due to their excessive partying. "I took one day off and showed up the next day and I was in so much pain," he told Revolver in 2011. "I just went, look motherfuckers, I'm showing up, let's get it the fuck on." His tenacity definitely made an impact. He was in a wheelchair all fucked up and in pain, Slipknot DJ Sid Wilson recalled, and you could hear him screaming in pain while he was producing the album. Number 2. Corey Taylor cut himself in the studio while recording vocals. By his own admission, Taylor was a fucking mess during the making of Iowa. "I was drinking a lot," he said. "I was in a relationship that wasn't good for me, and I didn't want to realize it at the time." The singer channeled all his personal darkness into the album, and even took the extreme measure of cutting himself with broken glass while recording. "I was bleeding everywhere," he recalled in 2011. "I just wanted something. I didn't care what it was. I was rolling in pissed, rolling out pissed, and I wasn't letting anything go. When I was doing the self-titled album, I was letting so much go and it felt good. During Iowa, I wasn't letting anything go. It was just rage for the sake of rage. It was just gnarly and I was so fucking unhappy." Number 3. Jim Root had a major breakdown and Slipknot's managers put him on a crystal table to try to mellow him out. Many of Slipknot's members were deep into substance abuse by the time the Iowa sessions rolled around, and guitarist Jim Root was no exception. "I'm pretty secretive and I was good at hiding my drug addictions," he admitted in 2011, "but when we were recording Iowa, I was up for a few days partying and then I had a breakdown. I didn't go into the studio for a few days, and one of the guys from our management company had to put me on a crystal table to try to mellow me out. I'm laying on this crystal table going, what the fuck am I doing? Is this table gonna do anything for me other than maybe straighten my back out?" Number 4. Iowa's intro track, 515, features the sound of Sid Wilson having his own breakdown. Wilson's grandfather died during the Iowa sessions, and though the Slipknot DJ tried to make it back home to see him before he passed, he ended up being too late. When Wilson showed up to the studio shortly thereafter, the band, of course, found a way to direct his suffering into the album. "We see he's hurting," Clown recalled. "He gets in the recording booth, they start the song. He starts singing. Next thing you know, the song's done, he has a breakdown, and that's 515. That's all Sid. Just gone. I come in the next day, Ross is weeping. Puts his arms around me. I've been waiting for you, Clown. You're one of the few people that's gonna understand this. This is my favorite part of the record. It's the realest part of the record. It was Sid having a breakdown from all the pain in this thing called Slipknot." Number 5. Slipknot hated each other during the recording sessions. There's bound to be friction in a metal band with 9 intensely committed and very fucked up members, but Slipknot absolutely loathed one another during the Iowa recording sessions. "When we did Iowa, we hated each other," Clown told Metal Hammer in 2021. "We hated the world hated us. We were just all at odds with each other," Taylor remarked of the tumultuous inner band tension. "I don't know if it was jealousy or if it was just insecurity. Am I pulling my weight? Is this person getting more attention than me? It was just dark, and it really spit in the face of everything the band tried to accomplish on the first album." In Robinson's mind, it was the band's increased indulgence in the party-hard rockstar lifestyle that caused many of the disputes. There was a big change with alcohol, being near Hollywood, the parties, and new management, which was funding anything that they wanted at the time as far as partying and drinking and going to clubs, Robinson remembered. "People were partying, people weren't talking, and I was pretty much getting frustrated with, it's not the same, we need to bring this together." Number 6. Roadrunner Records weren't sure what to do with Iowa once they heard how heavy it was. Following the success of Slipknot's debut album, it wasn't unreasonable for folks at the record label to hope that the band would go a little poppier and more radio-friendly with their follow-up, in an effort to court real breakout success. Of course, Slipknot being Slipknot, they did exactly the opposite. Everyone thought they were going to make the Wimp Out record and become mainstream. Monty Connor, Roadrunner's VP of A&R at the time, recalled in 2011, and they turned around and made a record that was substantially heavier. When I first heard it, I loved it. But as a label guy, I thought, what are we going to do with this? Number 7. The goat pictured on the album cover is named Eeyore. As Clown revealed to Metal Hammer in 2021, the goat on the cover of Iowa shares its name with the grindcore adjacent hidden track on Slipknot's self-titled album, and of course, the depressed donkey from Winnie the Pooh. My mentor who got me going into photography, Stefan Seskis, he shot the first album cover. Clown recalled, I came up with the concept and I so badly wanted to shoot the second album cover, and I just couldn't get it done. One day, I handed him the goat. I came to the studio later that day and he had taken 5 or 6 photos. They were Polaroids. I remember being so frustrated. I couldn't believe he'd got the damn picture taken. I said, I've taken hundreds of pictures of this bastard and I couldn't get it done. Number 8. Slipknot received human and animal remains as gifts on the Iowa tour. Naturally, since Slipknot's public persona was that they were 9 psychos who lived life to the extreme, the band started attracting some truly bizarre fans who tried to impress them with the most grotesque gifts imaginable. I remember girls used to bring hearts, cow hearts, and they'd take a bite out of it and slap me in the face, Clown said, adding that he and his bandmates were as disgusted as they were encouraging of the behavior. He recalled that one time, during a signing in Portugal, a fan came to the booth and presented him with a human thigh bone with the words, "People equal shit," etched onto it. I didn't know what to do with it, so we gave it a funeral, said Clown, who assumed that the bone must have come from a grave. Morally and spiritually, I felt horrible, and I had to do something for that human being. And finally, number 9, 9/11 derailed Slipknot's touring and promotional plans in support of the album. Iowa was released on August 28, 2001, just weeks before the 9/11 terrorist attacks. After that event, the band found themselves, quote, banned immediately, according to Clown. We'd been singing People Equal Shit for 3 months. Then suddenly everyone wanted to put it on the knot, man. That was our smallest tour cycle. We did 7 or 8 months, then no more. We had to pass on a lot of tours because of fear, Taylor added. It wasn't a good time for the country, but it wasn't a good time for us either. We got banned at a lot of radio stations and MTV wouldn't touch us. So here we were with our finest work to date and nobody would give us the time of day. Despite the hurdles, Slipknot persevered, promoting the album for over a year straight, including playing Ozfest, touring with System of a Down, and delivering an unforgettable performance of the Heretic Anthem on Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Iowa eventually went platinum in multiple countries, including the United States, and today the album is widely considered to be the band's best. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know your favorite song off Iowa in the comments below.